Welcome to Kabbalah Conversations. We're so happy you dropped in to join us. Kabbalah Conversations is where students of the Kabbalah Center get together to have weekly conversations about how the energy of the week impacts us, how we navigate through its challenges, and face the opportunities that the universe brings to us this week, using the tools and ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, which ultimately helps us connect to our soul's purpose and true fulfillment. Since you found our channel, we hope that something that you hear today inspires you and motivates you and helps make your week a lot better because of it. So welcome to Kabbalah Conversations and welcome to my fellow Kabbalah students. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, thank you.
And welcome to our guest, Christine.
Thank you for having me on.
Welcome,
Christine, we know each other for a long time. We actually used to kind of work together. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I started studying Kabbalah 22 years ago.
Wow.
Wow. So
Amazing.
it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And, I keep calling it a life-saving journey. I mean, it's Kabbalah is kind of like a self-help course that goes on for life. But there's times in your life where it really is more profound than others. Every week we use the tools to the best of our ability, but then there's, times that are extremely challenging that really, really help us.
And I can testify something that I notice, a major part of the study and practice of Kabbalah is to increase how much we are sharing with other people. Not because we want to be nice people, not because it's the right thing to do, just because it brings light into our life. So when we go out and we help share with people, it removes pain, it removes darkness, and it invites light and blessings. So that's why we do it. And I noticed that I don't know how, I don't want to count, it's not the point, but I see some people are introduced to Kabbalah because you talk to them about it, and it's great for them, it's great for you. It's something I definitely need to get better at. So.
Yeah, we all do. But I feel that, sharing really helps grow your vessel, so that you can, our goal is to try and transform our vessel to accept more and be ready for when the blessings come and to hold on to them. And sharing Kabbalah, I think, is a part of that, strong part of that.
How do you share Kabbalah, Christine?
Just one-on-one with people, talking to them and then see if there's a little opening or interest. And if it's not now, it's usually not, no, it's not now. And so then you wait for another opportunity, if it's someone that you have contact with throughout the years. Sometimes, like I say, sometimes it takes years, but when there is that opening and they're ready and willing, to receive the message, then it's amazing. It's amazing how it can change people's lives.
I had two opportunities already this morning. I ran into somebody that I haven't seen in a while, and she's like, "Whoa, where are your kids going to school? And how do you like the new school?" And so we started this conversation, and we were talking about how we parent our kids. And so I mentioned that, we study Kabbalah, and she said, "Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. It's amazing." So it was an opportunity to talk about the spiritual aspects and how we parent our kids through using the tools, and to get them, armed with being able to handle the challenges that are going to come to them. And then another one, I was at the grocery store right before my car quit, which I'll get to that, and start a conversation. I love talking to people when, I'm checking out or something. And so he said, we were talking about, Thanksgiving. And I said, yeah, this is how we're doing it a little bit early. And he said, I'm going to California. And he said his dad's going to have surgery. So, you could just leave it at that. Oh, well, and you just move on with the conversation, but to really speak to someone and get to know them and touch their heart, and why are you the guy that I'm with right now? So I said, oh, what kind of surgery? Heart surgery. Oh my gosh. So what are they doing? And blah, blah, blah. And I asked him questions, and I said, oh, somebody very, very near and dear to us, like she's our adopted mom, went through an open heart surgery recently, and I said, it was very successful and she's doing so great and it's been 3 months. So I hope the same for your dad. And can I give you this gift of the Zohar? And I said, take it with you if they won't let you give it to him in the surgery, but, and I showed him how to use it. He was so grateful. He was so overwhelmed. And I said, that he's going to have an amazing, successful surgery. And so it was just a really nice interaction. And I told him a little bit about Kabbalah, and so we'll see where it goes from there. But, just in day-to-day life, that's how it comes up for me.
Mm.
How about everybody?
Well, it's not the only way to share, is not just to talk about Kabbalah. Share is like
Be an example.
to try to remove yourself from the situation and try to go inside the movie of the other person. And many times, when you feel their pain, you can you can bring about Kabbalah, because it's like there's light there. So it's like, the best way of sharing is where your intention is not what my agenda is to tell them, or that's not the best way of sharing. The best way of sharing is to just care, go into their movie, and naturally there's probably going to come out something about Kabbalah, because it's light, so you want to share light.
But just by using the knowledge, using Kabbalah.
Yeah, like you know how powerful the tools are. And honestly, I mean, I feel the same. Like when I've shared about like, wow, this really worked for me, it's always like really good feedback. And sometimes people want to use it and sometimes they don't. But it's just, honestly, it's good information to share. Like this is a powerful tool and it's really helped me. I think that's nice.
Don't you find?
I mean, and that's what we're doing here. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you find that people are drawn to your energy because of how much we like try to work on ourselves and try to be beings of light and try to be sharing and try to care about people? People they're naturally drawn to you.
Well, and everything happens for a reason. Everyone comes into your life for a reason. So it's that's all part of it, and empathy, is you had mentioned, is huge. That is a large part of what we can do. No judgment. One of the spiritual laws is no judgment, and empathy is how you can replace judgment is with empathy.
That's beautiful. I love it. I wanted to we kind of jumped into the conversation, and one of the things that I like to do, mostly we've been doing it before we would start recording, but I think it's nice to maybe do it while we're recording, is also to read a little verse of the Zohar, to basically try to elevate our consciousness to be as much pure as possible, meaning that we're trying to be channels for light, not coming with any agenda of anything that I want to accomplish, or I want to say, or I want to sound smart. We try to disconnect from that and shift into, I want the light to use me and speak, if that's possible. That's ultimately. So I wanted to read the prayer of Karen. I don't have it in English, so I'll just translate it as I see it. But it's so beautiful, and Karen Berg, the founder of the center with the Rav, she says this: make my eyes see what you see. Make my mouth speak the words that you want me to say. Open my heart to love all the people in the way that you love them. Make my hands be the hands that give more than they take. Make my body a vessel to complete the mission for which I came to this world. So every word is so beautiful. There's another section. Please make me not only a vessel to your light, but also to a channel that transfers your light. In all of my interactions today, please make me not share my thoughts, not my words, and not my energy, but only your light, because only from your light you can give wisdom and understanding, and only because of your light, miracles and wonders can happen. So it may not have been the perfect translation, but it's so that's our request. I think I speak for all of us that we would love to share from that place.
It's beautiful.
And I'll add one more section from the Zohar, and then I see that Christine was ready to say something. I mean, Abigail. We still get confused with the name. So the portion of this week is Chaya Sarah, and if you're into real estate, DM us, because this is a portion that can give you the right energy to do real estate deals from the right place, from a place that reveals light in your life and in the other side, and just all in all, just reveal light. So it's not just a transaction, but actually something that reveals light. מאן דפסק התפסק, מאן דקצר התקצר, מאן דקצר התארך. רש למד מאן דפסק מילין דאורייתא, על מילין בטלין, התפסקון חיוהים מהי על מה, ודיני קיימה בהוא על מה, מאן דקצר אמן, ולמה אריך גון איכה, התקצר מחאין דהי עלמא, מאן דאמר אחד, יצריך לחטפה א', ולקצר קריאה דילה, ולה יעכב בהי אות כלל, ומאן דייבא די תרחון חייב.
Thank you.
Abigail, you were going to say something. You remember what it was?
I was just on the edge of my seat wanting to know the story from Esther about the car.
So I'm driving back from an appointment, and I had taken my car in to get it fixed and found an amazing person, very honest guy. And he fixed some things that needed to be fixed. Now, granted, I've just put new tires on my car. And so now I have a new battery, now I have a new alternator. And thinking that the car is going to be good, it's going to last me. And I'm driving down the road, and I had heard a sound yesterday, and there was a smell. I'm like, okay, I need to tell him. I don't know, maybe it's just, it'll pass. Anyway, I'm driving down the road, and it starts to seize up. Like I'm losing control of being able to turn. So I pull over, and I'm like, okay, light of the Creator, please. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for what I'm going through right now. I know this is perfect. I know this is exactly what I need. If my car's supposed to quit, I know it's from you. And it's not getting any better. So I call Yehuda and I say, can you stay with me on the phone? I just want to be able to get home. So it's getting worse and worse. And pretty soon I can hardly make the turns, and I'm trying to make the turns. And it's such a perfect, I made it home. I got it in my garage. The guy's going to come here and he's going to take a look and see what happens. Something snapped the belt. I don't know, hopefully, but let's see. The light's in charge of this. But, and as much as inside of me, I was getting so nervous and scared and angry and upset, like that's the place that you want to go to, which is a perfect segue to listening to this, this lecture or podcast that we want to share with you today, because for me to not have the normal response of, my heart's starting to beat, and I don't want another expense, and I didn't want to get another car right now, and what's going to happen, instead to be able to come from a place this came from the light of the Creator, therefore it's good. And I don't know how it's going to be good. I don't know how this is going to work, but if everything comes from a good source, it means that I need to see this as good. The light is bringing this to me. So, and maybe we want to share the clip right now, because it's a phenomenal story of something on a whole other level, a very big level of something that happened to someone and how he dealt with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna share it.
It starts at 58:50.
What, 58?
58:50.
Okay, and as I'm bringing it up, it was perfect for us to have Christine on this session, or what we call it, because Christine, you found this YouTube video, and you shared it on our
Yes.
How did you find it?
Yeah, I followed Lewis for years, and also, David Guillaume, I follow him, and so I knew it was coming up. I knew he had done the podcast. It was coming up, but I didn't know.
To start.
So I got the notification and that it was airing in 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I got on and was able to listen to it as soon as it was, being broadcast. And it's 2 hours, which may be a little long for some people, But if they take it like in 20-minute segments or something, then they can get through the whole thing. But I mean, I just sit there for 2 hours and I take all sorts of notes, you know,
That's
and I
great.
loved it. But
And we thank you for sharing it. It's a great, really,
It's a
really great.
great one. So
By the
great.
way, I looked at his channel, and at least in the last few months, before that, I think he had different numbers, but in the last few months, I think this is the #1 show. Like he got tons of
Yeah.
views.
Yeah. Because
So
of
it's right
doing-
here, right, Esther?
Yeah, it's overcoming wire fraud. It's that one section. Yeah.
All right, enjoy.
Oh, come on.
And I said,
You fell means
Up.
someone on your team paid it?
someone basically
Right.
changed.
I got it back up.
Oh,
Maybe you can
And
make
I
it
said-
full screen too.
I want more of this. Don't you not want more of that?
Such a great question. The only, when
Is
you
that it?
choose
That's it.
to say something is good,
Okay.
it comes from your
So
choice.
he's saying I should put
you
full
transform
screen like
darkness to
this?
light. When you are
good?
passively just driving and a negative thought comes to you from the outside and you think about it and you entertain it, that's when you manifest a negative reality. When you say, for example, one day I remember my CFO called me and said, I got bad news. I said, what is it? He said, we just fell for wire fraud. Somebody just stole $1.1 million.
No, come on.
And I said,
You fell means someone on your team paid it?
someone basically changed the accounting and wiring information. And we wired what was supposed to go to a manufacturer to, I believe, someone offshore somewhere.
Oh, man.
Scammer. Yeah, and we have protocols in place, and somehow we fell.
It fell through.
So I hear this on the call. And by the way, this is right after
Ouch.
I had that week said, I can't wait for my company to go to the next level. Like this is like, and this is, I set goals higher and higher in my prayers and meditations. I'm like, this is where we get to. I get this phone call. I say to him, I say, okay, there's a lot I wanted to say. I wanted to be upset. I wanted to say, who did this? I can't believe the system's broke. Like, did you call the FBI? Let's call the like all these things. I said, all right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna call you back. I put it down. And I was in my house in the downstairs part of the house, and I started to like walk around and say thank you. I said, this is amazing. I kept saying, thank you, Creator. Every part of me was angry and upset and asking questions, but I said, this came from the Creator, therefore it must be good. I don't know how it's going to be good, but if everything comes from a good source, it means the seed level of it's good. The reason it appears dark to me is this is my free will, my test to become like God. I asked for this before my soul came to this world. So I said, this is good. I love this. I started to dance around the room for 10 minutes like a crazy person. So I love it. I love the wire fraud. I love that I lost $1 million. This is the best thing that could happen. I called Meredith. I said, I have great news. She's like, what is it? She said, I just said, we just fell for wire fraud. She's like, what? I said, yeah, it's amazing. I'll call you back with all the details. We just lost $1.1 million. And I hang up the phone and I get so excited. I get my body to get so excited about it to the point that I realize it's all energy. What is money? It's all energy. And if I'm meant to have it, I will have it. If I'm not meant to have it, I won't. But at least my free will is my consciousness of certainty. And I got so excited about it. And then I called them back and I said, okay, make sure you call the FBI. Make sure you call the lawyer. Make sure you follow all the protocols. Make sure you create a process that this never happens again. Let me know what happens. Same thing I would have said 10 minutes prior.
With more anger.
There was more anger for your procession. But the difference was now I elevated my consciousness. I literally got a new soul that's like that can hold 1,000, 10,000 watts of energy. And now the company is going to benefit from this new soul and draw in more wealth in the future. How? I don't know. And it's not my business. Lo and behold, 2-3 months later, people asked, did you get the money back? We didn't get the money back. We lost that money. But 2 to 3 months later, the company broke open and a video went viral that like resulted in like 10 million of revenue, like stuff you cannot create yourself. And then the company went on a whole new trajectory. And that's what I've always learned. Right before a new level comes, you must be tested with something that is equally going to freak you out, make you sad, make you angry, make you want to blame. And I realized it's all an illusion. The whole thing was just between me and the Creator. The company is my energy and Meherut's energy. So if our consciousness is high, this is what she tells me every day. Every day she has a rebounder. She rebounds every day. And I'm sitting
Mary,
there.
you think we're done here?
Yeah. And I'm stretching and she says to me, I'm visualizing now everyone in the company. I'm putting a golden bubble around every employee. She goes to each employee, says their name, says, I'm putting a golden bubble, I'm putting a golden bubble around you, I'm putting certainty, I'm injecting certainty to each employee. And like, she's sending energy and the vibration to just open up everyone's vessel. It's all vessels. We're all just vessels for energy. And when we're complaining and when we're this and we're that, even when we eat poorly and we become sluggish, all of this stuff is just taking our energy, shrinking the vessel. And this is why sometimes when you fire your toxic employees or employees that just don't want to be there, or their mind is somewhere else, if
I think this is it, right?
Yes,
Yeah, that was amazing, right?
unbelievable.
So we'll give
Huge
credit.
lesson there.
What's that?
Huge lesson
Wow.
in spiritual law.
So what did you get from the lesson, and can you relate it to your life, Christine?
Oh, absolutely. That, everything comes from the creator and the same exact thing. I may not be able to analyze why this happened to me at this particular time. All I have to know is that I have unwavering certainty that it was meant to come to me. It was tailor-made for my soul, and I just have to deal with it. It's not what happens to you in life, it's how you react to it. And that is the main thing that I've learned in Kabbalah is that certainty, and having that certainty has, saved me, and I've shared with, times on how that helped me, and truly saved me. And that is that, I think, and also, that's part of reactive behavior, that does not serve you.
Wait, before you get there. So
Okay.
that was a beautiful concept. We love the concept. I love the concept. In my life, if I was asked out of 100% of the stuff that happens in your life, what's the percentage that you get this consciousness live as the bad news came in, as the bad thing happened? It's hard to tell, but I think if I'm at 30%, I'm really happy. In the moment.
I mean,
I'm not talking
ideally, you
about
shouldn't have the consciousness right away, right? Because that's what you need to transform. You need it almost right away. You should have the reaction, this is bad, and then transform it, right?
That's great.
Right. Yeah. Because
But
the
the question is the first reaction being 1 second or 10 minutes or 3 days
Yeah.
or a year.
How long does it last? Yeah. Yeah. And that's really what heaven or hell is. We talk about it like, the state of heaven and hell. Religion talks about it, but really it's just like, it's a consciousness. It's like knowing that things are working for you and choosing that reality, you're in heaven. Like life is great. It flows. The challenges aren't painful, but the hell is when we look at it and we say, this is bad and this is happening to us and why, and we're a victim. That's just misery.
Yeah, we
Christine, you
cannot
wanna-
have victim mentality that just destroys your vessel. Why is this happening to me? No, you can't go there.
Yeah, I got to just choose heaven, choose the reality that everything works for you. And that's what will manifest, that it does work for you.
You have to choose the light and not the darkness, and but it has to be, I mean, a mental choice, because when you're in that reactive mode, it's like, okay, wait a minute, flip the switch, and get back to the light and don't go to the darkness.
Is
And
there
don't-
something current that happened that you can share that you practice this?
Current.
Recent.
Yeah, well, even just the way I incorporate Kabbalah in my life is, yes, I was at Trader Joe's the other day, and it was very crowded. It was a Friday, it was lunchtime, people are everywhere. I'm in front of Trader Joe's, all of a sudden, bam, what happened? I get out, one of their grocery carts had gone rogue and came across the sidewalk into the parking, and hit the side of my car. And I'm like, how do you explain that, right? And this lady was kind. She got out, she helped me put the grocery cart back, and I went inside and I mentioned it to the manager, and I'm like, okay, I can't figure this out. Why sitting there out of all the cars, it chose me to run into, right? But I'm like,
Was the damage, was it a real damage?
there's like 5 scratches on my car. No dents, but 5 scratches.
Okay,
So
so that's real pain. We're talking real pain here.
yeah.
Somebody bumps into your car and there's scratches. The first reaction has to be painful.
Yeah, I'm
But
like,
then what?
but yeah, but then you just have to transform. Okay, this came to me for a reason. I don't know what the reason is, and just had them turn into the insurance company. I still haven't heard back from them, so I just have to let it go, and it will come back and
But
resolve
in
it.
the moment, were you able to remember all the lessons and be excited about it? That's hard.
Yeah, I wasn't. I can't say that I was excited about it, but I'm like, stay calm, and just walk my self-talk, that stay calm, that this happened for a reason. Something of light will come of this, and don't be reactive. And that's how I got through the situation, But yeah, trying to be happy in those moments, like,
That's miracle zone. It's
that
easier said than done for sure, but that's miracle zone. If you can get excited right there, not
yeah.
on the podcast a week later,
Yeah.
but in that moment, it's almost like crazy. Like people would hear it and say, what's wrong with you? Like, what do you mean? You're gonna get excited about something painful, something that just happened? But if you can, on the other side of that, it's more than just light, it's miracles. So, but it's like going to the gym.
Takes a lot of practice.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
lot of practice and self-talk and just constantly reminding yourself of those spiritual laws. And that will get you through it.
And the idea that
I love too, what did he said that right before something great? Like when you ask for something great, you're gonna have the equal of the opposite, the equal like of the greatness, you're gonna have the equal of the fear that's gonna come up, the equal of the challenge that's gonna come before. So this week I started this like period where I was really dedicating towards manifesting these things and asking for a lot of stuff in my life. And, that day I get this text from someone who has had issues with me for a while and trying to deal with it. And it's just, you're terrible. All these people hate you, blah, 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 like this long list. And it's so funny because it's exactly right when I asked for something that this came at me. And it was like, okay, like, how am I going to react to it? And then, just waited, paused, sat with it. Okay, let's look at it. Let's see what I can learn from it. And also like how to talk with grace with this person. And there's many like actions to take. But at first I was grateful. I took it as a good sign that what I was asking for was coming to me because I had this really big challenge in my face. Because honestly, what I was asking for, it involves like helping and leading people and influencing people. And in the past, I didn't do that because I was so afraid of people's opinions of me. Or if some, like, too many people would judge me or think poorly of me, I would just stay quiet to avoid that. So right when I ask for it, somebody comes at me telling me all the fears I used to have. Everyone hates you. So it just shows you when those things happen, like it's working. So keep going.
But when you get the text, it's like something to the heart, right? It's like very painful.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been very painful before. Now it wasn't as much, but yeah.
Oh, right away.
I mean, I think pretty quickly I was like, okay, something's going on here. It was random. I hadn't heard of this person from a year, and I had just started asking for something, so I saw pretty quickly what was happening. But also, I wasn't going to be arrogant about it and be like, oh, it's, just me to feel fine with it and I'm going to ignore it. No, there's still an opportunity to have sympathy and empathy and grace and, be strong from it.
That's maybe the hardest part, is to then say, okay, but there's still some message for me,
What's the lesson?
And maybe the lesson sometimes is just to love someone and to know that in time it'll all work out. Because not always do we know the next step. Sometimes it's just love and time.
Amazing. Christine, we're getting to the close to. By the way, Esther, I think the reason why she's not on, I think the mechanic person came.
Oh, good.
So it's like live, raw. It wasn't planned, obviously. But that's what I'm understanding that happened. So as we are about to conclude, any other thoughts, anything you'd like to share, Christine?
Again, just how, sharing, that it has become more evident to me recently that I need to share more. And that is, and helping people is my purpose at this point in my life. And so it's all seeming to come together a little bit more for me and crystallizing and putting that into practice. But again, taking all these opportunities and spiritual laws that I've been, studying and practicing all these years, taking them and transforming them into my daily life and make a difference in other people's lives. And that will make a difference in mine.
Before I thought that came to me was, can you see something in your life, something about your character, even like something that through the tools of Kabbalah you were able to transform? Like I used to be like that. I can tell you personally, like I'll just so set the stage. So like one thing very obvious to me in my life was how terrified I used to be at what people think of me and making sure that I look good and all of that. And it was stopping me in so many areas. There was one moment in my life that I'll tell you the quick story because I don't think I shared it before, but this was like, to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm different. So I went to an event in Florida. Yeah, in Florida. And I wanted to do mikveh. Mikveh is when you go into the pool and you go under the water a few times. It removes negativity, removes anger. So I go into the front desk, and the person at the front desk is telling me, I'm asking him, where's the pool? He says it's there, telling me where, but it's not going to be open until 8, so you can't go right now. And I'm like, okay. And I walked, and there's this voice that I always lived in with my whole life. There's no way I'm going to go in the pool. What if they catch me? And they can do something to me. I'll feel terrible being judged. How dare you? I told you no, and you did. And then the other voice came as a result of my process of changing and asking to change. And the voice says, so what's the worst? What's going to happen? He's going to be upset. I don't want to be upset. But anyway, it felt to me like this is my opportunity to break it. And I go there, I heart is beating, and I go in the water. And as I go up after a few ducks, I look up, and he's right there looking at me. So mad. And it was a very amazing moment in my life because I broke something. So on one hand, I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again, but inside I was so happy because I'm like, okay. So, my inside was so happy. Like, what happened? Nothing. He's upset for a minute. He'll get over it. And I broke a fear. And I did my big
an accomplishment. It was a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, so this is like one point where I can say it's definitely thanks to my process in Kabbalah. I don't think I would have, without Kabbalah, I think I would still be in that place that is so limited because I wouldn't do the mikveh, and I wouldn't do this, and I wouldn't talk to that person. There's so much in my life that I wouldn't do because I'm in chains. I'm like, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? So that I wanted to set the stage. It wasn't going to be about me, but I wanted to set the stage. If it can trigger something with you, Christine, that you can point. I used to be a certain point, and I changed it.
Well, and the biggest example in my life is when my son died. I mean, that was huge, but all I kept telling myself is this happened for a reason. This was his path, not yours. And all those Kabbalah teachings, are truly what saved me. That, it's a hole in your soul that you have to deal with every day the rest of your life. And that's very, very hard to do. But what helps is knowing that it happened for a reason. And this wasn't about me, it was about him. But I had the opportunity to be his mother for 36 years. And I have a grandson. He was 5 at the time, and now he's 14. And to be able to be a part of my grandson's life growing up without his dad, has been very hard for him. But I'm there to support him, and it's an amazing journey. But definitely without Kabbalah, I would not have had that reaction or been able to survive that traumatic situation like I did. That it truly did save me.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Esther,
very
you
grateful.
muted.
I'm grateful.
Esther, you said something, but you muted.
Oh, is she back?
Yeah.
I'm back.
Esther is
Yeah,
like,
no,
was
I
that the
just-
mechanic, Esther, that you had to
I
leave?
was the mechanic, and I just told him what I was telling you on the, this is good. This is from the light of the creator. And he's like, I feel so bad. I hate it when it happens that I fix something and then something else breaks and they blame me. I'm like, I'm not blaming you. It's the light of the creator. Let's see what we can do. So he was appreciating, but
That's
no,
good.
Christine, there's no words for that. And we had another dear friend of ours went through losing her daughter, and she says the same things. Had she not had the tools to be able to shift something inside about being able to deal with the day-to-day and to be able to connect to his soul and her soul, she wouldn't have survived. She didn't think she would survive.
That's true. Yeah, it's nothing you would wish on your worst enemy, and you never think it's going to happen to you. But as I said, we're grateful. We're so grateful for the teaching of Kabbalah to get us through that.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you. Thank you. Didn't mean to end on a sound note there.
It's
No.
life. It's life, and it's
Yeah.
you're very powerful, and you're more powerful, with the process that you're going through, and so that's very inspiring.
Well, and I try and share to be an example for other people. But people tell me, "Oh, you're so strong," and like, I don't feel strong at all, But to be an example and share my story, because that is part of what we do, to share. And if you can touch someone else's life and help them, then it's worth it. Anyway, but David, David Game is one of my favorite people, and that 2-hour podcast is like a mini master class of Kabbalah with all the spiritual wisdom that he shares in that, and it's truly amazing, and I was certainly appreciative to be part of this today.
Amazing. And if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, there's a link below for Kabbalah1.com. And if you're not, then Kabbalah1.com, KABBALAHONE.com. That's his masterclass, and it's basically free. It's pay what you can. So could be $1, but whatever it is.
The best thing
So-
that you could do for yourself. The best thing.
definitely. Abigail, you were a little quiet this time.
I'm just
Say
enjoying
something.
all your light and wisdom. And I'm honestly, I was just thinking how grateful I am to just be a part of like such a conscious conversation. It just like feeds my soul. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Esther, last words.
Last words. And I just have a question. Are you going to put the link or did you share? Sorry, I had to be off for a second, but did you share where people can find the Lewis Howes, David Guillaume interview?
Tell us again, just to make sure. I mean,
Okay.
we're going to post a link on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, so if you go to YouTube and you type David
Yeah.
Guillaume and Lewis Howes, I think it'll bring you to the 2-hour interview on his show.
And it was, the manifestation is the title, and that'll help get you to the
That's
right
right.
program as well.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Well-
what we want to do, manifest miracles.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today in our Kabbalah conversation. And we hope that something that you heard today from our friends makes your week a little better because of it. If you're looking to learn more, the resources, lessons, podcasts from the Kabbalah Center can be found on our page in the highlights so that you can continue to connect during the week. Please tell your friends and share this page with everyone you think can benefit. We're so excited to grow this community and very soon to have live in-person events as well. Feel free to ask questions or drop a comment below if you'd like to join our waiting list for the next live class. We wish you an amazing week full of light and look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.